Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on KREM News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti. Today, President Trump is set to give his first speech this term before a joint gathering of Congress. Natalie Brand has more on the different topics that President Trump plans to discuss.
25% tariffs are now in effect on the nation's two biggest trading partners, Canada and Mexico, as President Trump gets ready to address a joint session of Congress tonight.
It's going to be very costly for people to take advantage of this country.
The U.S. also increased tariffs on imports from China, bringing them to 20%. Each country has vowed to respond with tariffs of its own.
Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight. Not when our country and the well-being of everyone in it is at stake.
Even some Republicans are worried.
Maine's economy is very integrated with Canada. Certain Maine products, such as lobster and blueberries, are often processed in Canada and then come back into the United States.
The president's address here on Capitol Hill also comes as the Trump administration paused military aid to Ukraine following Friday's contentious meeting with President Zelensky.
The president has been very clear he wants the Ukrainians to come to the negotiating table. I think when the Ukrainians come to the negotiating table, everything is on the table.
President Trump's domestic agenda is also expected to be front and center tonight, including efforts to shrink the size of the federal government, with over 25,000 layoffs so far.
Firing federal workers who do cancer research and Alzheimer's research, that does not make us a stronger country or a stronger government.
Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is among the Democrats who have invited fired federal workers as special guests tonight. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Washington Senator Patty Murray says she will not be at President Trump's address tonight. Instead, she says she'll be meeting with constituents who, quote, have been harmed by the administration's reckless firings and its illegal and ongoing funding freeze across government. Meanwhile, Washington Congressman Michael Baumgartner will be in attendance. He posted on social media that each member of Congress gets a guest ticket. Congressman Baumgartner says he is taking a teacher from Wilbur Creston High School for a Classroom to the Capitol opportunity. He says KREM 2 will be interviewing Congressman Baumgartner tonight following the president's speech. And we do want to remind you that you can watch the president speak and address Congress on KREM 2. It begins at 6 o'clock tonight. All right. 12:03 right now. We're going to turn our attention to the forecast. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick. He is standing by in the KREM 2 Outdoor Weather Center. A little bit like spring out there, Thomas.
Just a little bit, though today a lot more cloudy compared to these last couple days. I'm just kind of scanning the skies around me, and it is completely overcast. Sun not really going to find much in the way of some blue skies to work with here. So that might keep our temperatures kind of intact for the rest of the day. We're in the mid 40s right now. Might barely get to the upper 40s today, but I think our streak of 50-degree weather is going to stop today just because of this thick cloud cover. Now, in addition to that, looks like there is some rain that is heading our way. So here's the storm system. It is in the process of weakening already. So while it is widespread rain over western Washington, by the time it crosses the Cascades, it's really going to chop apart quite a bit. So we're really expecting a lot more in the way of scattered showers here as you see the light rain just now moving into Grant County. So from Vantage and crossing the river here, that will eventually slide through the rest of our viewing area, but very light rain at most a bit later on for this evening. But like I said, with the cloud cover and any rain that's on the way, that probably halts us from hitting 50 degrees, but only just. Even these temperatures in the upper 40s, still technically above average for the season, and we are uphill for the rest of the week. So a couple things to cover coming up. One, when the rain is going to arrive, and two, how much warmer the rest of this week is going to be. March continues to offer us plenty of warmth and another crack at 60 degrees over the weekend.
All right, Thomas, thank you. Spokane City Council members were supposed to consider a land study during Monday's council meeting. However, they instead deferred it to next Monday. Within city limits to accommodate a 23,000 population increase by 2046. New housing growth is expected to be concentrated downtown, in transit corridors, and mixed-use areas like the South Logan Development Zone. The study also highlights underused downtown parking lots as prime locations for new housing and some mixed-use development as well. The Shoshone County Sheriff plans to tackle drug trafficking along I-90 with the help of the U.S. Border Patrol. Our partners over at the Coeur d'Alene Press reporting that I-90 patrols were reduced as Idaho State Police struggles to recruit officers. To increase patrols, the Sheriff's Office requested a grant of $75,000 over the next 3 years. Deputies would work extra hours patrolling I-90 and then report their efforts to the Border Patrol.